ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणि। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। सब सभी भक्तों का हार्दिक स्वागत है। We welcome everyone for today's discussion on Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So we are discussing from Bhagavad Gita chapter 2 and last verse of this chapter, verse number 72. So yesterday also we discussed this verse. So how many of you attended this verse yesterday? Please raise your hand. And those who have not attended, how many of you heard this recording because it is connected? Nothing. Okay. So in this verse, Lord Krishna says, Esha Brahmi Sthiti Partha Nainam Prapya Vimuhyati Sthitivasyamanta Kale Api Brahma Nirvanam Richati. So that is the way of spiritual and godly life, after attaining which a man is not bewildered. If one is thus situated, even at the hour of death, one can enter into the kingdom of life. So that is the way of spiritual and godly life. This is the way. What is the way? The way Lord Krishna has already shown in previous around 15 verses. And the essential point, which we already discussed yesterday, essential point is that one should become free from all the desires for sense gratification and be established uh, in in the consciousness of Krishna, Krishna consciousness. You remember Krishna consciousness means we discussed Krishna ka ko ke. So one who lives his life in this consciousness, Krishna consciousness. So that is the proper way of spiritual and godly life. And one who attains such a status, such a state, enam prapya, na vimuhyati. Lord Krishna says. Then such a person, one who has attained to such a spiritual stage, after attaining it, one is never bewildered. Vimuhyati. So how many of you have ever experienced that something which you were not supposed to do, but you did it, which you were not expected to do, but you did it? So almost every one of us have experienced such a thing in our life, and some of us may be very expert also, who may be experiencing such thing every day. But why such thing happens? Vimuyati. This is called a vimuyati, getting bewildered. So bewilderment means acting in a manner which is not suitable for our progress in Krishna consciousness, or acting in a manner which is not approved by Guru Sadhu Shastra. Shastras do not approve it. So the point is, if you can, at every moment, before acting in a way, if you can just uh, realize or be, if you can be conscious that whether this act of mine is approved by Shastra, is approved by Guru, Sadhu and Shastra or Krishna or not. If somebody can ask this question before acting itself, not after acting. Generally, people, it is said, most of the people act, they think after acting. Very few people are there in this world who think before acting. So similarly, there are very few few devotees, we can say, few transcendentalists who may be able to situate themselves in the platform that every moment before acting in a certain manner, in whatever manner the inspiration comes, uh, they ask this question, whether this is authorized or approved, whether this will be approved by my spiritual master or Krishna or not. And if it is not approved, then they don't act upon it. So this action is also at three levels: kaya, manasa, vacha. At the level of mind, vacha means speech, and kaya means practically performing some action using our body and senses. So, the best transcendentalist who is perfectly situated in spiritual life, he is not bewildered all these three stages, uh, and all the time. He is never bewildered. Means all the time, every moment, he is conscious about what to think, what to speak, and how to act. And he is also similarly conscious about what not to think, what not to speak, and how not to act. Uh, so, if a devotee at least develops this much consciousness that before acting in a certain manner and before contemplating or before speaking or before acting, he can just come to know that this will not be approved by my spiritual master. If he would have been present here, he would he would have never approved this. If one can just come to this stage of analysis before acting, then his journey for Krishna consciousness will always remain safe. He will never get bewildered. And who can come to this stage? Lord Krishna is telling, Esha Brahmi Sthiti Partha. One who has practiced this way of spiritual and godly life. What? Which we have already explained in previous 10 to 15 verses, where a person is very much concerned and he is always conscious not to act, not to act in order to fulfill my desires for sense gratification, but rather I should always be conscious, or I should always be acting in a manner which will please Guru and Krishna, which will please the Spiritual Master and the Supreme Lord. Whatever Supreme Lord wants from me, I must do that, and whatever he doesn't want, I must not do that. If somebody consciously keeping this always in his mind and acting according to this, then such a person is called as a perfectly dharmic person, perfectly religious person. And such a person is known as perfectly godly person, godly, sadhu, saint. The real saint means this is the means consciousness. And if somebody, the next line Krishna says, Sthita va asyam antakale api brahma nirvanam richati. If somebody can sthitva, means if somebody can remain situated like this throughout his life and even at the time of death, antakale api, also at the time of death, then there is a 100% guarantee. There is no doubt that he will attain a spiritual kingdom of God. He will become liberated from this material existence and he will attain the spiritual world. Who? The person who is situated in such consciousness without getting bewildered, who is situated perfectly in spiritual consciousness. So, Antakali api also means one thing is Sthitavasyam Antakali api means throughout the life and at the time of death also. But Antakali api means at the time of death we don't have any control. So, if somebody has lived his entire life in this perfect spiritual consciousness without getting bewildered, so even at the time of death, he will not get bewildered. will remain sober, very spiritually situated, and as soon as he leaves his body, he will attain to the spiritual kingdom of God. Now, somebody may ask this question: what about those who have come to the devotional or spiritual life after leading a sinful life for certain duration of years? What about them? So the Sthitavasyam refers to as soon as we get connected to a bona fide spiritual master, a devotee, and uh, and uh, through his association, as soon as we got this knowledge that in what manner we should act, that we should give up desires for sense gratification, and we should follow the principles of regulatory principles mentioned in the scriptures, and we should serve Krishna, we should chant his holy name. So as soon as one gets this understanding and knowledge, from that point onwards, if one putting all his efforts practices all these principles very nicely, even if he is unable to properly follow it in the beginning, means 100%, it's not expected immediately to happen. But if somebody puts his heart and becomes very serious that I must make sure that I should act only in a spiritual consciousness. I should always situate myself at a spiritual platform, even while dealing in this material world, while living in this material existence, dealing with material people, and while doing material activities also. My consciousness should be situated in a spiritual platform. So, if one tries like this, and and in the association of devotees remains, so then definitely he makes a steady progress towards this. In the beginning, one may be 10%, 15% situated in a spiritual platform, but gradually, while seriously taking advantage of association of devotees and intensely practicing sadhana, one very soon comes to the platform of 100% spiritual platform. One comes to 100% spiritual platform. And after attaining this, if one can just remain there as it is throughout his life without getting bewildered, then definitely, without a doubt, at the time of death also, he will be able to remain spiritually situated, never getting bewildered. And as soon as he leaves the body, immediately he is transferred to back home, back to God. So this is conclusion. Once one disciple of Srila Prabhupada asked him that Prabhupada, how you are able to uh, keep yourself always very spiritually enlightened, or always you are Krishna conscious, or always you are engaged in serving Krishna. You never get bewildered. It's a pure devotional platform. Srila Prabhupada gives the same answer, which is the essence of this verse. स्थितवस्याम अंतकाले अपि एषा ब्राह्मी स्थिति पार्थ नयनम प्राप्य विमुह्यति. If any one of you want not to get bewildered in this material existence, uh, by the way, how many of you really desire that I should never become bewildered by Maya while living in this material world? Yes. So if any one of you have this desire, then the solution is Esha Brahmi Sthiti. One should stick to the principles which are given to us by bona fide authorities, the spiritual master and the supreme Lord. So Srila Prabhupada said, because I always try to keep myself at a spiritual platform. That's why there is no possibility of falling down into Maya. What does this mean? That I always remember the instruction of my spiritual masters and the Supreme Lord, and I always remember that I am not this body, I am eternal servant of my spiritual master and Krishna. So my duty is to act according to that knowledge or that understanding. That's why Srila Prabhupada, even though he was in America, he landed in Boston, New York, almost 7 days back. Prabhupada reached Boston in 1965. 17th September 1965. How many days back? 7 days, almost 7 days back. The same day when one of the great devotees, His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj, one of Prabhupada's disciples, he also appeared. The same day, Srila Prabhupada reached USA, America. So, but he was never alone. When he was there, he always felt the presence of his spiritual master. He was for next almost for 2-3 years. He had a great means hard time even for surviving there. It was such so cold weather and nothing to eat, and he was having a small rented apartment with no fixed income. Uh, he was having 200 sets of Bhagavatam, and after distributing Bhagavatam set, whatever money he would collect, using that money, he would purchase some vegetable for his cooking, and also he would pay the rent. So much risk, but gradually he started preaching. A few hippies joined and few gentlemen joined, so they started contributing in this way. This storefront, rented storefront where Srila Prabhupada was living, it was maintained. So, but Srila Prabhupada said, I never felt alone. I always experienced the presence of my spiritual master, His Divine Grace, Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. So, how he felt the presence of his spiritual master? By remembering his instruction, what instruction he gave. So, that's why in first canto Bhagavatam, when Prabhupada wrote completed commentary of first canto Bhagavatam, he dedicates it to his spiritual masters. There he writes that a pure devotee always lives, and followers live with him by when remembering and following his instruction. If you always remember Krishna's instruction, so Krishna is always present with you. If you always remember uh, Guru's instruction, Prabhupada's instruction, so they are always present with you. Even materially also, if you become attached to somebody, and if you just remember what kind of statements, what kind of talk you had with them, so immediately you feel the presence, isn't it? Similarly, if you remember the words of the Supreme Lord, just like Krishna says, Manvana Bhagavad Bhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru, that always think of me, Krishna says. Oh, Krishna is telling always to always think of him. Oh, let me always think of him. Let me always try to think of him. So, how to think of Krishna? Mahaprabhu said, very easy method. Always chant Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So as soon as you chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, you are always thinking about Krishna. So always think of me, Man Mana, Bhavad Bhakto, become my devotee. Now, devotee means one who devotes his heart, one who dedicates his energy, uh, his activities for serving Krishna. That is the meaning of devotee. Devotee means one who is devoted or dedicated, or in simple words, we can say one who has attached, one who has become attached to somebody. That means he is devoted to, surrendered. Attachment is very much required. If one is not attached to Krishna, so he is not, he cannot be considered as a proper devotee. The devotee doesn't mean only putting tilak, kanthimala, bead bag, everything ready. Devotee. That is external uh, appearance of a devotee, but internal appearance happens when one who has become attached to Krishna. So you are devotee of one with whom you are attached. It doesn't matter outward appearance. Uh, one may be, one may have taken sannyas, but if one is remembering about his wife, at home. She is not a sannyasi, he is sannyasi in name only. That's why to take sannyas is very difficult because attachment is so powerful. So one may be externally acting in a way, but if has not one has not developed the attachment, so he cannot be considered in true sense. He is a devotee. So we should always uh, reflect upon our consciousness from time to time that whether I am attached to Krishna or I'm still attached to somebody else. So because you'll get only that destination with whom you are attached. If you are attached to earning money, even if somebody makes a show of performing devotional service, so still he will have to come back again to earn more and more money. If somebody attached to some places like Los Angeles, Europe, London, so even if he is practicing devotional service, he will have to take birth there. And there he'll get connected to devotees and start chanting Hare Krishna. But still, that is a great risk. And if you are if somebody is attached to someone in this material world, so he'll get that destination. If that particular person goes to hell, so you may have to compromise with going to hell company to accompany him. हाँ, accompany करना पड़ेगा ना. And if somebody is not a devotee, so there is a high degree of chance risk that he is going to hell because modern civilization is a civilization based on performing sinful activity. You cannot avoid it, especially if you are able to earn a lot of money. That means there must be sin. You cannot avoid it. Everywhere without gambling and without this encouraging these four related principles, you cannot earn a lot of money. Very much. Whether you take film industry or this sports industry or anything. So everywhere there is a lot of gambling happening, a lot of this breaking of four related principle happens, and you earn a lot of money by these things. So definitely, one is going to incur those sins, and one is going to have a very good experience, not good, bad, bad experience of hellish planets. So if we get attached to them, so we are going to get that in such condition we may get. So be careful. Uh, before choosing your celebrity, be careful. Better to choose Krishna as your only celebrity. Uh, if at all one wants to appreciate somebody's beauty, so appreciate Krishna's beauty. If at all uh, somebody wants to see someone very attractive, so look at Krishna's attractiveness. How Krishna is attractive, how Baladev is attractive. You see, now जी दिख रहे हैं. He's so handsome, so attractive. आप लोगों को दिखाता हूँ. देखिए ऑनलाइन आया राहुल ब्रो. Yes. So the God Nita and Lord Balaram and Lord Krishna, you can praise. Yeah. Oh, he's so beautiful. He's so handsome. And even to the point, if somebody says, "Oh, yes, he looks very sexy," not good, not means approved, but still that is okay. If at all, just like Kubja, when she looked at Krishna Balram were coming on her way. So when she looked at them, she became captivated by their beauty, and she was enchanted. And Krishna told Kubja that we have come from Vrindavan, and you have such nice sandalwood paste, so please apply it on our bodies. And they were having. So Kubja immediately, because she got attracted lustfully, so she could not deny it. So if somebody gets attracted after seeing someone and cannot resist himself, So if this disqualification, although it is considered to be a disqualification, because if you simply by getting attracted to somebody, if you cannot resist and just go and talk with someone, then you are certainly going to get destroyed. Your spiritual life is going to get destroyed. Only in one condition, this disqualification will become your greatest qualification if Krishna comes in front of you, Krishna or Balram. If Krishna and Balram comes and if you become attracted, wow, so beautiful, so handsome, uh, and like Kubja, so sexy. She thought like this. Krishna and Balram, they are so sexy, so handsome. So she immediately, although she made those sandalwood paste for Kamsa, but on the way, she applied it on the very beautiful bodies of Krishna and Balram. Krishna immediately became very pleased and he blessed her with very nice, beautiful bodily features. Simply by touch of Krishna's finger, Krishna touched her chin and just made a jerk. And she was Kubja like this, very ugly, old, ugly looking woman. But as soon as Krishna touched the chin and just made this jerk, immediately she became very most beautiful woman in the city. And then she expressed her desire to unite with Krishna. And Krishna told, yes, I'll fulfill all desires, but let me finish certain tasks. I'll come back. Because Krishna with Lord Balram, so he felt little hesitation. So he did not immediately accept the order, but he had already made the plan because he has given me a nice service, so I must deliver her. So after completing all these tasks, what? Killing comes up. So along with Uddhav next time, not with Balaram, but Krishna went with Uddhav, his friend, and both of them, they went in the house of Kubja, who was now changed into a very beautiful woman. So as soon as Kubja, she took the lotus feet of Krishna and placed those lotus feet on her breast, immediately she got purified of all lusty desires. Similarly, if we place Krishna's lotus feet within our heart, so it has such a great, tremendous effect, transcendental effect, that all will become completely freed from all lusty, nasty desires and will only become attached in a pure form to the Supreme Lord. And in this way, one can attain perfection. Perfection. But if instead of getting attached to Krishna, instead of glorifying Krishna's beauty, or Lord Balram's beauty, same thing. Krishna Balram, same thing. So we can definitely we can glorify Krishna's beauty, Lord Balram's beauty, and we can means glorify them and become attached to them and to chant their holy name, and in this way transfer our impure attachment from anything and everything of this material world towards the Supreme Lord. Then our destiny is very bright. Otherwise, it's very dark. We are going to take birth again and again, and that is also not sure this kind of birth, degraded birth. So, are we prepared to sacrifice such a golden, wonderful opportunity of human birth? Uh, so, whenever a temptations, yesterday also I spoke about this. So, those who have not heard yesterday's lecture, they should hear. I mailed also. Uh, so, whenever such temptations or attractions of this material world comes, so we should ask this question: am I prepared to lose Krishna, the most attractive personality? Uh, am I prepared to lose Krishna for the sake of just this cheap, insignificant attraction? Am I so fool? Uh, How many of you think that you are not such a fool? Yes, there's your hand. हाँ, ऑनलाइन भुगतान में कोई नहीं. How many of you think that you are not such a fool that to sacrifice Krishna because for somebody, some attraction of this material existence? Okay, rest of the devotees are fool. हाँ, this question. Okay, समय हो गया क्वेश्चन लेते. Okay, we'll stop with this verse. Uh, I would like to know those who are thinking that they are cool like this to sacrifice Krishna for the sake of something or someone of this material world. Yes, why do you think like this? Speak. Okay, let us have question. Yes. As you mentioned, Krishna is a good question. The question is that at present we are attracted towards material things and we feel uh, after getting attracted and after enjoying certain sense gratification. So we feel some kind of pleasure and we have not experienced Krishna's sweetness, Krishna's beauty. So how can we resist this material temptation and get attracted to Krishna? So the process is very simple. Process is uh, just by hearing. Shravanam. Prahlad Maharaj also says, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam. Simply by hearing about Krishna and simply by hearing Krishna's holy name, one can become fully attached to Krishna, and at the same time, simultaneously, he will become detached to all material things. So, a devotee who is very serious and sincere, he very attentively chants Krishna's holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. The more attentively and the more quantity you chant Krishna's holy name, the faster your heart becomes cleansed of material attraction and our original attraction, natural attraction for Krishna's beauty that becomes manifest within our heart. Uh, this is the process. So chanting and hearing Krishna's name and hearing about Krishna philosophy, Krishna Katha, this Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavad. So that is very powerful. Okay. Any other question? Please ask. Hare Krishna.